Welcome to the Orlando House Church YouTube channel. We're glad you're here. This channel is primarily intended for our Orlando House Church group, but I think you'll find some content very helpful to you as well on your spiritual journey and in your spiritual development. We're a part of a network of house churches headquartered in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That network is referred to as Church Without Walls International, or CWOWI, and you'll find the website at cwowi.org. This is the first of hopefully many more videos to come. My wife Lorraine and I have been hosting house church for several years now, and we feel like it's time for us to share some of the things that the Lord has shown us, hopefully things that will help you as well. On this particular video, I want to tell you about something that happened recently as I was in a nearby forest doing some fishing. I go there about once a week on a weekday, and there's a creek that flows through that forest, spring-fed, and I do a lot of freshwater fishing there, and I fish for the freezer. I do love a good catfish fillet, and I catch them, bring them home, and Lorraine knows exactly what to do with them. This particular day, I had completed my fishing was done, and I was driving out of the forest, and as I was driving along, the Holy Spirit just seemingly out of the blue said, "What do you see?" And I was caught off guard with it. I thought maybe I didn't understand the question, and I said, "What?" "What do you mean?" And he just repeated the question. He says, "What do you see?" So I stopped my vehicle and I looked around. I took a good look around, and this is what I saw. I'll show you what I saw. The Forestry Service, every year they will pick certain areas of the forest for a controlled and prescribed burn. They will deliberately burn the forest. They will set boundaries, of course, so that the whole forest it's not a raging wildfire, and because it's healthy for the forest to do that. And as I was looking around, this is what I saw. And I thought, what do I see? I said, "Well, Lord, I see destruction and desolation. That's what I see." And for a few moments there was silence, and I thought, did I get it right? And he said, "Would you like to know what I see?" And I'm thinking, oh, this is about to get good. I said, I'm all ears. I would love to know what you see. And he said, "I see a new beginning." And I said, "Really? You see that in this?" And he said, "Yes." And he asked me, he said, "Why does the Forestry Service do a controlled burn in certain areas of the forest every year?" And I said, "Because it's ultimately good for the forest." And he said, "Very good, you're right." And so he said, "Drive forward a little bit and then tell me what you see." So I drove forward a bit, and I could see new growth beginning in areas that had been burned. And I know from past experience and doing my reading that the ash is actually fertilizer for the ground. And any gardener will tell you that. Potash is one of the best fertilizers you can get. And that fertilizer causes some really, really good new growth. And it grows like crazy. And so I was beginning to understand what the Lord sees what he saw when he looked at the same thing that I was looking at. He saw something completely different. And I thought, well, Lord, why are you showing me this? Why are you teaching me this? And he said, because it's the same with your life. Things that you thought were destruction and desolation have actually brought new growth to you. Look back at your life and tell me if that's not true. And so I began to think back to some awfully hard times. Some of it I brought on myself. Some of it was a result of my own stupidity. Some of it was beyond my control. But I began to think back and look at the growth that it has produced in me today. And by golly, the Lord was right, if you can imagine such a thing. He was so right. I'm looking at the results that it has produced in my life today. And I acknowledged that it was a result. I mean, the things that were beyond my control produced a lot of growth. But I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, what about the destruction that I brought in my life as a result of my own ignorance and stupidity? And he said, ash is ash, regardless of whether it was arson or whether it was lightning or whether it was prescribed, whether it was deliberate. Ash is ash. It's still the same fertilizer, and it still fosters new growth. It clears the underbrush so that sunlight can reach the ground, and with the sunlight and the rain, the new growth is incredible, as I'm showing you here now. And it just got, it was so encouraging, and it gave me goosebumps. And I want to offer that same encouragement to you, because what you might see as destruction and desolation is going to produce the same new growth. Now, at the time, when I was going through this stuff, I wanted out. I wanted it to stop. I wanted an escape. I wanted it to. I didn't like it. And where I was raised in the deep South, we have a saying that says, when you're up to your ears in alligators, it's hard to remember that your initial intent was to drain the swamp. You know what I mean? So when you're going through it, it is not pleasant. It is not fun. It is not encouraging. That's when we need each other. And that's why you might need me now, telling you that it's not going to last forever, that it is going to produce positive results and new growth. Just hang in there. And you're never alone. I told the Lord when he was showing me this, I said, Lord, I got to be honest with you. Those were times when I felt like you forgot I was even on the earth. You forgot my name. You didn't even know who I was. That's what it felt like. I know that's not the way it was, but that's sure what it felt like. And he said, I understand. And that was so comforting to me too, because he understood how I felt. He understood how you feel. He hasn't deserted you. He hasn't forgotten your name, just like he didn't desert me or forget my name. And the day will come, trust me, the day will come when you will once again rejoice. I'm thankful to be able to spend these few minutes with you. I hope to see you in the next video.